Manga-Waido.
My name is Haruto Uda. My mother gets sick very easily, so I was raised by my mother and my grandparents. However, it's not that I didn't feel her love. She spent every moment she could with me, even though she was bedridden.
Look, Haruto. It's a paper crane.
Wow! Mom, it's so pretty!
Whenever she felt well enough, she would make meals and take me out for walks. I loved how sweet my mother was. And although quiet, my father and my grandparents were kind. I had no complaints growing up with my family. However, my classmates weren't so kind.
Your mom is so pale and scrawny.
They would make mean comments about my mother, even when I made friends.
Let's hang out at your place after school.
We've never been to your house, Haruto. You're okay with it, right?
Sorry, guys. My grandma is at the hospital right now. I'm not allowed to have friends over when it's just my mom at home.
Jeez, what a party pooper.
Whatever. Let's go play without him.
They started leaving me out after a while, so I never had any true friends. When I was in the 5th grade, a bully came up to me
Your mom's like a bean's route.
and pushed me so strong I fell over. And it just stopped raining and I fell right into a huge puddle.
Guys, I'm soaking wet.
Something worse happened when I got up on my feet.
Ew! Don't touch me!
I'm so sorry.
I staggered into a 6th grade student.
You got me dirty! What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
What's your name? Show me your name tag. Haruto from 5th grade. You better watch out for me.
After that incident, the girl, Maria, started bullying me with her friends. She would push me or trip me every time we saw each other. When she found out my mother was sick,
She probably got sick because she had to give birth to you.
she made mean comments with a cruel smile on her face. Thankfully, Maria was a 6th grader, so I only had to put up with her bullying for the next 2 months. However,
Is that you, Haruto? How exciting. We'll have such a great time in middle school together.
we ended up going to the same public middle school. The following 2 years were hell for me.
Go buy some bread for all of us.
We'd eat 20, okay? Get moving, you little brat.
I don't have money for that.
What? Don't talk back to me if you don't want to get beaten up. I want to go to the next Channy concert. Go line up and get a ticket for me.
I don't really know how it all works.
Just shut up and do it! You better get the tickets! I will crush your life if you don't!
I couldn't say no. She would beat me up. I couldn't tell the teacher since she would do worse things. So I had to deal with it until Maria graduated 2 years later. I'll make sure I pick a high school without bullies like Maria there. I studied hard, and I got a top-level high school in the area. Maria wasn't there, and all the students around me were kind. I made great friends, and I finally started enjoying school life. However, it wasn't all good times. Mom! Mom! My mother died the first winter at high school. My grandmother followed her soon after. Haruto, it's you and me now. Let's work together to get through this. Okay, Dad. I'll help with the housework, whatever I can. Whatever I can do. The pain didn't go away easily, and I knew my dad would hide from me to cry over a lost family. I did everything I could to make my dad feel better. I guess I did it for myself, too. I helped with the housework every day, and I made dinner while I waited for my father. My father slowly started smiling more and more. This is great! It tastes just like your mother's. I found Mom's recipe book in the kitchen cabinet. I made it using her recipe. I see. I'll cook the meals on my days off, okay? Let's have a competition to see who can recreate Mom's meals faster. Oh yeah, bring it on! By the time I got into college, both of us had stopped dwelling in our sorrows. We smiled and laughed, reminiscing about the old days. Hey Mom, I got a job today! I picked a work-from-home job. That way I can keep cooking the meals you wrote the recipes for. My father was starting to get old and sick, so I decided I would work from home, just in case anything were to happen to him. On the weekdays, I worked from home and ate dinner with my father. On my days off, I would go shopping with him, or I would have some alone time. We spent a few years like that, living peacefully. Hey, there's someone I want you to meet. My father surprised me with some news. I noticed that he recently spends a lot of time picking out his ties, and I could see he was a little fidgety, like he had something to look forward to. Is it someone you're dating? What? You knew? You seem so excited whenever you go out on the weekends. I kind of sense something. I see. I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? It's been 10 years since Mom passed away. You still have a life ahead of you. I want you to find love, so you have somebody to spend the rest of your life with. Thank you, Haruto. I just realized how much you've grown. You sound like an adult. Hey, I'm 25 years old now. When do I get to meet her?
Oh, well, I was thinking this weekend.
Okay, I'll keep it open. The woman my father introduced me to was polite and classy. Her name was Raiko. She kind of looked like my mother. Her eyes, her laugh, and her hair resembled my mother.
My name is Reiko. I met your father while we were working together.
She's a colleague of mine. We've been working together for 5 years. Raiko is such a professional, but she is so charming whenever we have breaks or go out for drinks. She's also a great talker.
I could see my father was head over heels for this woman. I was happy for him. He deserved it. I accepted their relationship and congratulated them for finding each other. However, my world came crashing down the next time I met Raiko.
This is Reiko's daughter, Maria.
My name is Maria. It's so nice to finally meet you.
I'm Haruto. I froze the moment I saw her face. I recognized her face. It was Maria, the bully who put me through hell back in middle school. Maria didn't seem to recognize me. I had my hair cut, lost quite a lot of weight compared to middle school. I was perplexed. She just stood there looking puzzled as she tilted her head a little. I ran from the spot, telling them something came up with work. I wanted to tell my father right away that he shouldn't marry this woman. But my father seemed to be in love with Raiko. She didn't seem like such a bad person. Plus, Maria seemed a lot nicer. Her bully attitude was gone. So I wasn't sure what the best thing to do was, since the bullying happened a long time ago. Since Maria is already an adult, my father won't be adopting her, even if he gets married to Raiko. I won't have to be involved with Maria once I get out of the house either. Maybe I should just keep my mouth shut. Let my father finally be happy. I was torn. I didn't know what to do.
Hello, Haruto? You're the little boy I bullied back in middle school, aren't you?
I received a phone call from Maria. I felt my body stiffening as I heard her say those words. The memories started flooding through my head. I broke into a cold sweat.
It all came back to me when your mom told me your address. You better not tell your father about what I did to you back then. They've already filled in the marriage papers. If you screw this up, I will never forgive you. Just keep your mouth shut. Our business has nothing to do with our parents' marriage.
I checked with my father. They had finished filling in the marriage papers, and they were planning to turn them in within the next few days. Before I knew it, Raiko and Maria had moved in, and we all started living together. Maria looked confident, and it made me feel even more defeated. My father seemed to enjoy Raiko's cooking. He looked delighted. I couldn't say anything to him after seeing how happy Raiko made him. Maria didn't bully me like before, so I decided not to bring up the past to my father. A month after we started living together, everyone was feeling more comfortable with each other, like we had always been family. I was starting to think there was nothing to worry about. But then, Maria and Raiko started making insulting comments about me. I guess since my father told them the marriage papers were finalized, they thought it wouldn't be a problem to show their true colors.
Why are you always at home, Haruto?
Do you realize how bad it looks when there's a hermit in the family?
I'm not a hermit. I work from home. I get paid for it too. I thought I told you before.
It's just not right. The men need to work outside.
Seriously, it's like you're guarding the house. It's creepy.
From that day on, Maria and Raiko would make cruel remarks at me whenever they saw me.
I wish you would just leave forever.
What's worse is they made sure I heard them. I had a feeling they were planning to take over the house if I ever left. Damn it! How could I not see this before their marriage? If the marriage wasn't finalized, I could have told Dad and we could have canceled the whole thing. I regretted not telling my father about the past. Wait! Maybe it's not too late. When my father gets home, I'll tell him how horrible they are. Then we can figure out how to make things better. However, my father never came home that day. What? Dad's been in an accident? I found out that my father was in the hospital in critical condition. Dad! Dad! You gotta wake up!
We did everything we could. Unfortunately, he doesn't have long.
No! Dad! Dad! I called him many times, but my father never woke up. I was still in shock when I came back to the house to get a change of clothes.
The money's all ours now, honey.
Mom, you're the luckiest woman alive. When we get the money, you gotta buy me a new purse.
I knew he was rich, so I did everything I could to make him fall for me. I can't believe I'm getting rewarded so fast.
I know. I think God really loves us.
Maria and Raiko were chattering excitedly in the living room. What do you mean? Did you marry my father just for the money?
Oh, I see you're home. Well, since your father won't be waking up ever, I guess I can spill the beans. Yes, it was for the money. He had the best work performance in the office, and he never wasted the money he made. I knew he had a lot of money saved up. That's why I tried so hard to get him. I even asked around about his previous wife. Can't believe changing my hair and makeup would work so well. He immediately fell for me.
Mom, you're such an evil person.
You can't be serious. You guys are trash!
Say what you want, sweetie. Your father and I are already married. I have the right to receive an inheritance from my husband. Stop wasting your time talking to us here. You should get back to the hospital to say your goodbyes before it's too late.
I was fuming, but she was right. I needed to get my father as soon as possible. I managed to stop myself from punching Raiko in the face. I heard them burst out into laughter as I walked out the front door. Dad, I shouldn't get away with this. Please wake up so you can kick them out of the house. Dad! Dad! I desperately called my father, but my father soon passed away. Right after squeezing my hand weakly, I saw a single tear run down the side of his face. It looked like he was smiling for some reason. Maybe he was glad to be joining my mother. I couldn't stop crying for all sorts of reasons. I was lost in the darkness. I could see no light no matter which way I looked. However, there were procedures I had to get through. I needed to plan out the funeral, and there was paperwork I had to get through. I needed to get the paperwork done if I wanted my dad to be cremated. For the first few days, I didn't spend much time grieving since there was so much to do.
Mr. Ueda, can I ask you something?
Yes? Is there a problem with the papers?
I need to ask you a few things concerning this section of the forms.
What? No way! After that, my father's funeral went by as planned, and I said my goodbyes. Many of his friends came, and they all cried when they saw my father in the coffin. I also started bawling my eyes out. But the sorrow I felt during the funeral soon turned into a fuming rage. 2 days after my father's funeral, where are you guys going?
We're going on a trip.
The funeral's finally over. We're planning to finally go have some fun.
Are you serious? Wait, that's my father's wallet!
Look at all the money. Oh, I don't need a wallet. Here you go. We're gonna have so much fun.
You can stay at home and guard the house all you want. See you soon.
I'd never felt more furious in my life. I went straight up to my room to figure out what I needed to do before they came home. 2 days later.
That was so amazing. Mom, we should go again overseas next time, maybe?
Of course. We have plenty of money. We should go on a cruise. Huh? What are those guys doing?
Did something happen?
Entry is permitted only to authorized personnel.
What the heck? Hey, Haruto, who are these guys?
Oh, I see. Remember how you told him to guard the house? He brought his little friends over to put on a show.
Nope, these guys are from the security company. Just to make sure you don't freak out and cause a scene.
Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. Get out of my way. We're too tired for this.
Didn't you hear him? You aren't allowed in the house. You two don't have the right to go beyond this gate.
What are you talking about? This is our house.
That's right. How dare you?
I'm totally serious. We are not family. You are not my father's wife. Look, my father never turned in the marriage papers. Raiko looked white as a ghost. As she saw the marriage papers in my hand, I found them in my father's bag.
No. Why?
I found out you guys weren't married yet when I went to do the paperwork down at the city hall. One of my father's old friends told me that my father was waiting to turn the papers in until after the 13th anniversary of my mother's death.
But he told me
He only said that because you kept bugging him about turning in the papers. He was planning to turn the papers in and apologize for it after the 13th anniversary Buddhist service. I also got this information from my father's friend.
So, that means that your father and my mom...
They were never married. So, if you need to gather your things, go ahead. I'm giving you exactly an hour to pack your belongings. I won't allow you to stay any longer, and you won't be able to come back inside the house. The security guards will be watching every move, so don't try anything stupid. They will be watching over the house for the next few days. If you ever come back, they'll catch you, and I'll call the police. Maria and Raiko immediately started apologizing to me, but since they weren't family, I didn't plan on forgiving or helping them. I turned my back on them and left the security guards to do their thing. They gave up after a while, since I wouldn't reply to anything they said. They packed up their things and slowly walked away. After they left, I decided to sell the house and move to a different place. It was too big for me to live in all by myself. Maria and Raiko didn't have anywhere to go. They had spent all of their money, and I saw them walking into an internet cafe in rags. I heard from one of my friends about how Maria ended up having to work as a hostess in a bar. I don't know what happened to Raiko, but seeing how she is, she's probably not doing so great either. As for me, I have settled down in my new house. I put up pictures of each member of my family in my Butsudan. Seeing my father's picture is still painful for me. But I keep remembering how my father was smiling in his last moment. I'm sure he's having a great afterlife with the rest of the family. Believing that motivates me to do my best. I hope they are all looking down on me. I'm gonna live my life to the fullest, so I can tell them all about it when I meet them in heaven.